Baltimore Ravens, Chiefs, Dolphins, Jaguars. Two ladies talking football. Let's get it. Let's talk Ravens with Yolanda. Today's video, we are going to discuss each player that makes up the offensive line. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I know we are a little bit tardy, but that's okay. Why? Because we have a powerhouse of a show for you tonight. I have with me joining the channel, Miss Phins. Welcome in. How are you tonight? Uh-oh. Let me make sure she's not. Nope, I can't hear you.
I'm totally muted.
No, you're good now. You're good now.
I'm doing well.
Good. Well, thank you.
Thank you for letting me know.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much for being
I'm getting
here.
feedback. Yes.
You're getting feedback. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where.
Let us know.
Oh, wow, this is so embarrassing. I'm looking at the show live on YouTube too.
It's all good.
It's
all good. It's okay. That's fine. Listen, we are excited because it's our first collab together. And although our teams don't face each other this regular season, you never know if we might meet in the postseason. So it's always a good idea to keep a watchful eye on what other teams are doing in the AFC. So, Ms. Phins, would you please just give a quick introduction and tell everybody what you have going on here on YouTube?
Absolutely. Hello. Welcome, everybody. My name is Miss Phins. I am a diehard Dolphins fan, a super fan. I've been loving my team since Ace Ventura Pet Detective. I didn't watch it when it came out because I was like literally a toddler. But, once I was older, I was able to go ahead and do it. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have an awesome show Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern, every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. and Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. So I'm very excited to talk to all the Dolphin fans and all the NFL fans too about the Dolphins, about what's going on and things like that.
Awesome. We're going to preview both upcoming matchups. And I'm really excited because the Ravens kick off the NFL season in just 3 days. So again, thank you all for bearing with us through technical difficulties, trying to get her live stream on her channel and paired up with my live stream on mine. I'm able to see comments from both channels, which is really good. And Ms. Phins, if there's a comment that comes in that you want me to underscore or highlight, I can certainly do that. Just let me know. But trust me, I see you all in the chat. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. I see you guys. Thank you. I see all of the Phins. I see Phins up. I see all of the people who are joining from Miss Phins' channel. Thank you all for being here. I see all of the Ravens flock out tonight. This is going to be a fun show. I'm really excited. So welcome in, Miss Phins, and let's start. And we can just kind of, go where the conversation takes us. So since the Ravens begin on, we open up the season on Thursday. Kind of what are your thoughts on the Ravens taking on the Chiefs?
Oh man, Ravens taking on the Chiefs. This game I think is going to be very interesting, especially since I know the Ravens both of our teams had very, very good opportunities for us to make it to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately we had to play against the Kansas City Chiefs and the reigning champs. I mean, to me it's going to be the rematch, if you will. Seeing this game on NBC to start off the season, I'm super excited to see it. I want to see what Lamar's going to do. I want to see how you guys' players are going to be. You guys didn't do too bad, though. You didn't do too bad. I mean, in your last 5 games, including preseason, you're 2-3. So, and they're also 2-3, including preseason. So this should be fun. As far as the way the season ended for you guys, obviously, like us, a bummer. But you guys have some really good young players that I want to see how they do, in their second year coming in. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
But
for
it
sure.
should be a great matchup in my opinion. Great
For
matchup.
for sure. I think, and I'll just start with our defense taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes led offense. This is something that I think for our defensive coordinator, we have a new one at the helm, Zach Orr. And it's his first year. I do expect there to be a lot of continuity from Mike McDonald last year. However, we're going to have to see some growing pains. I do expect that. I remember 2 years ago, and I think it was 2022 when we played the Dolphins, and we were up by an enormous amount. I don't remember how many points we were up, 20 something, I think. And it was going into the fourth quarter. And I said, there's really not a need for me to watch this game. We have this one in the bag, right? Wrong. The Dolphins came back in that last quarter and just that's exactly what you did to us. And I remember that the game because I thought it was Mike McDonald at that time. It was his first year as a defensive coordinator for the Ravens. That was a growing pain. That was really a bitter pill to swallow. But from there, we saw Mike McDonald really evolve in his role as defensive coordinator. So I brought that up. I know the flock, we don't like to talk about that around here. We just don't. But I brought that up
To
to
be
say,
fair,
right, to be fair, I
you
brought that up.
you guys' secondary was very much injured. I
Yeah.
have to remind my Dolphin fans too. You guys' secondary was very much injured, and you were picking players out of the depth of your depth chart. So
Yeah, that was really, a tough loss. And it was one that still stings. But from that, one thing I took away was give the new defensive coordinator a little bit of grace. And so I would remind the flock, we're going to have to do that. Our defense, we're going to really need to, step up. We've had one of the best defenses in the league for many years, and I don't see it being any different. Will it be defense, top one, two, three, game one against the Chiefs? Maybe not. But I think we will evolve and will continue to grow as the season progresses. But for specifically for this upcoming matchup, the Chiefs offense last year was lackluster. Their receivers dropping passes all season, couldn't connect with Pat Mahomes. But one thing we learned about the Chiefs, you don't count them out. No matter how rough it looks for them, they can flip the switch at any moment. So that's something that, I'm taking into consideration going into this game. Like in terms of a matchup, ugh, you know, they addressed losing Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins, Mr. Speedy himself. They addressed it by drafting Xavier Worthy. They said, okay, we lost Tyreek a couple of seasons ago. We've not really had a replacement. And now our defense has to be ready to handle Xavier Worthy if he plays. So the matchup I'm looking for is our cornerback, first year, rookie. I'm waiting to see if they're going to pair Nate Wiggins up with, Xavier Worthy, because that's speed on speed. And Nate Wiggins is everything that we, or at least the fan base, everything that we thought he would be coming out of college. So that's kind of where I stand with that. But any concerns that you have for the Ravens in terms of being able to contain or slow down Pat Mahomes?
yeah, I think the slowing down of Pat Mahomes is kind of every team's goal. You know what I mean? You guys have a pretty good defense. I'm actually really jealous. You have Roquan Smith. I was very upset that he went for a third to you guys because that's who I wanted versus Chubb. Even though I love Chubb, Bradley Chubb, can't wait till you come back. But I really wanted to have Roquan Smith because the I just saw him all over the place being that inside linebacker. You guys have a really good defense when it's healthy. You know, you got
Yeah.
Kyle Van Noy, Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton. The thing is, your injuries. Can you guys stay healthy? And I think that's going to be your biggest plus. Can the Kansas City Chiefs be a problem offensively with Mahomes? Absolutely. You can never count him out. And to your point, I think last year was probably the best opportunity that any team had to beating them and getting into the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl. And none of us took that chance. No, but none of us took that opportunity when they were looking at their worst. Now, like you said, they added Worthy. They added another speedy receiver who we expect, having the fastest time in the combine at 4.21, 440, a 40-yard dash. It should be very interesting to see how you guys contain him. For me, it's same old, same old. Their offense is still going to be effective. It's going to run through Kelsey. You're going to see them utilize Pacheco a lot. But at the end of the day, as long as they have Pat Mahomes, he's going to find a way to extend plays. And that's the part that it's going to be tough for you guys. If you guys can really rush him and try to keep him in the pocket, I think that'll be probably your best shot at beating him. But it's going to be hard because he knows how to get away from that O line and extend plays. As long as you guys can do that and you can minimize Travis Kelsey's um, impact in the game, I think you guys have a very good shot of beating them. It just, again, it depends on the health of your defense. As far as their defense versus your offense, I think you guys might be in trouble.
We're going to talk
If
about
I'm
it.
gonna
We're going to
be,
talk about the offense. We're going to talk about the Ravens offense versus
I'm
their
just
defense in a
trying to
minute.
be honest.
Okay. No, we're going to get into it. I'm going to give you a couple of my thoughts on the final touches on the Ravens defense matching up against this high-powered offense. What I'm hoping is that sometimes, not all the time, but I will say oftentimes. And also, I wanted to say, yes, Roquan was a second rounder. We got a second round. We gave up a second round pick for Roquan, not a third, but
I would have still done it.
I would have too. I don't look at that as, why did we do that? That's problematic. I don't look at that at all. We gained someone who is for the future. And you talk about playing
Hmm.
lights out. Roquan he means business when he gets on that field. But what I'm hoping, sometimes when you have a new receiver, especially a rookie, coming into the league, even when you have a quarterback as great as Pat Mahomes, it might take some time before you see that chemistry develop. They've had the off season to develop the chemistry. They certainly have worked. I'm sure they've worked together, but you just never know if they can put it out on the field and put it all together game one. If that be true, then the Ravens have a good
Hmm.
opportunity to capitalize on that in terms of what I call a scary secondary. That's what we have. Our secondary is something fierce, and we have so much depth. And when you speak of health, one thing last year, we were relatively healthy, especially in comparison to years past where, whew, like you said, when we were just asking anybody who was wearing a Ravens jersey that day, can you come out and just suit up for us? Because we didn't have anybody. We were depleted in terms of injuries. But last year we were relatively healthy. Yes, some guys got nicks, bruises, bumps. That is to be expected. And Marcus Williams, our safety, he played with a torn pec the entire season. That's remarkable. That just shows the caliber of man that he is. But this year, we're coming into this upcoming season with a full, I think I saw two names today. One is Adisa Isaac. He might be questionable or he's still injured, but we have the return of our center. But like I said, we'll talk about the Ravens offense in a minute. But on defense, I really don't think that we have any outstanding injuries that are going to prohibit us from being great in this game. The only thing that I'm watching is we have a lot of young talent, like you mentioned, Miss Phins. And we're asking those youngsters to take a really ginormous step this year. We're going to see if they can do it. I believe in them. I know they can. It's just now it's time. I saw someone say, it's time to put up or shut up.
Yep, exactly.
We've been waiting. And as fans, we get anxious. We get nervous. We're like, okay, is it going to hurt? When is this going to happen? We're here now. So this is the time to demonstrate it. One thing I'll say about Hollywood Brown, they were trying to replace Tyreek. So this year, the Chiefs on offense went into this season saying that was our Achilles heel. And what we're going to do about it is we're going to bring in wide receivers. We're going to bring in a vet who's a speedy vet, and we all know him very well in the Ravens camp. I, for one, was sad to see him go because he and Lamar had a great chemistry, great connection. And replacing that is not always easy. So, but in his absence, I think he's still dealing with an injury. I think Worthy is going to have he's going to contribute, but we'll see if he has that connection. But I think one other thing for us on defense is going to be getting pressure up the middle, getting Mahomes to be hurried, rushed, not allowing him to go through his reads, taking away, and Roquan said this in his presser, I think earlier this week, maybe